As we all know, in Minecraft, you can place two chests together to craft a large chest. This is completely ordinary, but have you ever thought about or tried merging more chests? Logically, this should be impossible, although you can craft another large chest. The game's design simply won't let you merge more. Under normal circumstances, this is exactly what you'd expect. But when you step outside the game's rules, you can achieve this. In this video, I'll tell you the bizarre story of the triple chest. In some earlier versions, there was actually a way to manually craft a triple chest. In January 2010, chests were added to Minecraft. They could be opened one block at a time, or you could combine two to create a large chest for extra storage space. This led some players to wonder, could they ignore the rules and craft an even larger chest? Soon, a method for manually crafting a triple chest was discovered. First, place a large chest, then place a water source next to it. Finally, place a third chest directly on the water source. And just like that, you had a triple super chest. The method relied on a bug discovered in July 2010. When you place a block in water, the game no longer checks whether the placement is valid. This allows you to place blocks where they normally shouldn't go. So, does this triple chest actually provide more storage space? Or is it just a visual glitch? Let's test it. If we open the left chest, we see the standard chest interface. The same goes for the right chest. But when you open the middle chest, you'll notice its capacity is genuinely massive. It can hold up to 9 rows of items. So, this triple chest truly gives us the extra space we wanted. However, since this was a player-exploited bug, and the game wasn't designed for triple chests, the interface looked very strange, but that wasn't enough. We wanted to merge even more chests. For example, a quadruple chest. This looked even weirder. The chest interface extended beyond the screen, completely unrestrained. But this wasn't the limit. You could even create a quintuple chest, which looked like an absolute mess. It was clear the chest interfaces were stacking one on top of the other. As far as I know, this chest did indeed have the capacity of 5 chests. Unfortunately, this version didn't have the option to shrink the inventory interface. It wasn't until Beta 1.5, released on the 19th of April, 2011, that Mojang added this setting, but this update also patched the earlier exploit. After that, it was nearly impossible for players to casually craft a quintuple chest. However, if you had already built a multi-chest in a save file before updating, it would still work in the new version. This meant the feature wasn't entirely eliminated, so you could still use editors like MBTedit to generate triple chests. But that doesn't mean we had to rely on such tools to obtain triple chests. In fact, triple chests could still generate naturally in the world. We all know that dungeons can spawn with 1 or 2 chests. Sometimes, 2 chests would spawn close together and merge into a large chest. We also know that abandoned mineshafts randomly generate chests before minecart with chests were added. These were regular chests, so if a dungeon and an abandoned mineshaft chest spawned right next to each other, it was possible to generate a triple chest. Though extremely rare, this could still happen. A dedicated player on Reddit once found a naturally generated triple chest in their survival world. Imagine just starting a new world and stumbling upon this. You probably wouldn't sleep all night. Let's rationally analyze the probability of this happening. First, the world must generate a dungeon with a large chest, which is already rare. Then, an abandoned mineshaft must generate passing through that dungeon, and a small chest must spawn exactly next to the large chest. I am not great at math, so can anyone calculate the odds of a triple chest generating this way? Since this version optimized chest design, multiple chests would now play their opening animations simultaneously, which looked pretty cool. After this, someone found a seed where 2 dungeons generated close together. This wasn't as rare, but sometimes it could also result in a triple chest. Even on the chaotic 2B2T server, a player discovered a triple chest naturally generated in the world. However, when the server updated to version 1.12.2, a rendering issue caused the third chest to become invisible. This happened because, in one of Minecraft's updates, the way chests were rendered changed, but the triple chest feature remained exactly the same as it was years before. Of course, triple chests or multi-chests weren't destined to last forever. The triple chest feature survived for a full 7 years, before being permanently removed in the 1.13 update Aquatic. In this update, the way chests functioned was changed. Players could now hold shift to place multiple large chests without gaps. Since chests no longer required a 1-block gap between large chests, this completely eliminated the triple chest feature. 3 adjacent chests no longer overlapped like in previous versions. Previously overlapping chests became 2 separate chests placed side by side after the update. It is surprising that this feature survived in the game for so long. Perhaps Mojang had more important things to update, and didn't bother with minor features that required editors to trigger, or features that players had less than a 0.0001% chance of encountering. Moreover, the fix for triple chests wasn't intentional.